Right. So in today's session, we are going to discuss about JQL, which stands for Jira Query Language. Because in the previous sessions, we discussed about the script runner part, script console, all that. In that, I told you that we are going to discuss about JQL first, followed by this, I do the continuation. So today we need to know about what JQL is all about and what exactly the syntaxes that we are going to use, followed by some examples. We are working on the JQL part. Now, first of all, we must be knowing about what JQL stands for. JQL stands for Jira Query Language, which majorly more or less like an SQL, because SQL is a structured query language where SQL, right? So we use uh, to extract any data from the database and all, right? So for that, generally different queries generally we write. In the same manner, JQL is also being used to search for any kind of issues that we are using on Jira, on the Jira board. Either it can be of user story, it can be of epic tasks and all that. So if you want to search for any kind of issues in Jira, so if you want to identify and search the issues and all, JQL is something essentially important so that it is flexible and flexible in writing down the queries, etc. Everything is being used for. This is majorly uh, connected even with filters also, because filter creation is also important. How to create filters, how to sorting it, and how to implement some complex conditions. Everything we need to know about JQL part. That is basic important. Now, this is where generally the basic syntax of the JQL is, because for example, if you are taken field operator values and all, assume that the project called ABC and as less status will be open. Now, here what we have to do, you need to combine the clauses. Combine clauses for and or not, right? So we are using whatever the combined clauses we are using. So those has to be taken for the particular project that we have taken. In addition to that, whatever the keywords that we are using, either it can be, for example, we are using empty keyword or it can be null, right? So I'm referring to the value of the particular value that we are going to provide. So for that empty or null that we have taken, those strings, whatever that we are taking and whatever the quotation codes that we are creating and all, everything are comes under the strings part. So this is a basic syntax. Generally, we need to know when we are working on the JQL. So JQL is more or less like SQL part, as I told you, because SQL majorly used for structured query language, where it used to extract queries from the database. In the same manner, when we are working on Jira, it's important for us to identify what are the issues that we have. We need to identify the search the issues. Using this flexible queries and all, we can identify the issues and we can extract it. This is what generally it is for. Now, these are the common fields and keywords generally we use. For example, fields such as like project or assignee. Project means, let's say, core banking project we have taken. Okay, we to develop an application, right? So assignee can be any developer. It can be any user interface designer, right? So it can be any database design team, right? So all these people are comes under the assignees part. Next, reporter. Reporter means to whom are we reporting, and we must be knowing about the status of the project as well here. Followed by this, what priority is this? Is it a high level priority? Is it an intermediate level priority? It's a low priority that we need to update. Followed by this, we need to create and update the labels, whatever is needed. So all these things are the common fields generally we are using for JQL. Next, these are the keywords, because when we are working on JQL and all, you will be knowing, right? So these are the different keywords that we are using in not in, right? Is not, right? So these are the different common fields and keywords that we are using. Next, we must be knowing about the operators and functions. These are the different operators and functions we are using in JQL. So operators like consist of, because if you want to use some operators for any kind of in or not in, right? So these are the operators that we can use. Or else if you want to create any functions, right, for a current user or for end of a week or so, right? Functions can be even mentioned. Let's say that we have taken an example. Let's say, for example, assigning. Assigning nothing but the current user who is using user interface designer is a user. right? So what they have to create from the starting of the particular sprint or a month, whatever that we have taken. So that has to be updated under the function point of view. So implementing the operators and as well as functions in JQL majorly details about whatever the functionality that we need to be defined for a particular Jira board then we are working on, whatever the task that we have taken and to whom this is being assigned here. So these are the operators and functions for more important because knowing about the common fields and keywords are important. At the same time, operators and functions even important. So for that, as I already told you, we need to work on the Jira part. And about the simple example, this is a simple example as I told you, like project. For example, project status open that we have taken. Or else we have taken some assignee, right? So some assignee name that was taken here, which can be as a priority, right? So including the text database as well as the labels that we have taken. Everything comes under the examples that we have identified here. So this is how generally JQL, the basic high level understanding, whatever is needed, one should be known with, right? So when we are working on the uh, scripting script runner and all, Jira script runner. As far as the JQL is concerned, first of all, we must be having some practical understanding over JQL query. That's what will be discussed in the coming session. Followed by this, remaining script console work completed, script variables, etc. Everything will be discussed in the coming sessions.